I wanted to do a quick video because I am moved by the fact that there's a lot of advice out there which is wrong. And it's rather unfortunate because a lot of people believe in this advice, and when it doesn't really work out, they don't know what's going on. There's a ton of bad advice out there, especially when it's free on some free website. It's really bad. And specifically, I want to talk about one specific topic, and that is this whole concept of um, as a businessman or entrepreneur, you are paid in direct relationship to the value you provide others. And I just don't think this is true. I don't think it's true because there's so many people out there who provide tremendous amounts of value and don't make a lot of money. I can give you dozens of examples in different industries. And I used to believe this as well. And there were quite a few millionaires, oftentimes with good intentions, who have said stuff like this. I know Pat Flynn of smartpassiveincome.com. He said stuff like this, and I love the guy. He's ethical, he's honest. But I think you have to dig a little bit deeper to really figure out how this works. I think the real phrase should be you are directly paid in proportion to the value you create and the amount you capture from that. So this doesn't have to be unethical or in a win-lose situation where you're extracting value. It can be a very win-win situation. So first off, let me just give you examples of how this doesn't work. So there's plenty of websites out there that they get millions of views per month, which puts you in the top echelon, the top percentage of websites out there, but they don't make a lot of money from it. And it's because although they're providing a decent amount of value to their viewers aren't people who are buyers. So, there's quite a few photo sharing websites out there like this. There's viral websites out there like this, and just think of search trends. Search trends are important, and people think you have to search for certain keywords and key phrases, but when you look deeper, as far as search trends go, let's say you search for the phrase homelessness. Even though there's however many tens of thousands of people searching homelessness per month, that is a topic and category that's not really monetizable or has much buyer value because the people searching that are homeless. So you kind of get the point from that. But there's other examples, and I want to point to the book 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. By the way, that homelessness idea concept, credits go to Ryan Lee for that. That wasn't my idea. But let's go to the book 0 to 1. 0 to 1 is a book written by a billionaire investor by the name of Peter Thiel. Now, is this guy the end all be all? Everything he says is golden truth? No, he's human himself, and arguably he probably has mistakes as well, but he definitely has certain level of merit having become a billionaire. Having said that, though, even he makes a lot of mistakes, and a lot of the things he says could be wrong. In fact, a lot of things I could say could be wrong. But he makes a good point. And here's his point. He says, you really have to capture value. You can't just create it. And he gives the example of the airline industries. Every year they make billions of dollars, and yet oftentimes they're operating at a loss. Now, why is this the case? They're creating tremendous value in the sense that they're letting hundreds of millions of passengers travel to their destinations every year. That was something that was impossible 100 years ago. So that service is very valuable, and yet they're operating at a loss. Some of them are making pennies on the dollar, and they're doing horrible. Now, why is this the case? Because it's a very competitive, cutthroat industry, and a lot of the airlines are horrible at capturing value. And Warren Buffett said that if you were to sum up all the profits and losses for every single airline company combined, you would have lost money rather than gained money. And he says if any capitalist would have known that, they would have shot down the guy who started the airline industry. They would have shot down the guy who started the invention of an airplane. Now, is this to say that you should go it was a joke basically. He wasn't serious about that, but the point of it was to say that you can make a lot of money but still not make a lot of money. You can lose money because revenues don't mean profits, and value does not necessarily mean profits either. So my point is, I think sometimes advice isn't always exactly true, and you may have to burrow into the specifics. Again, I'm still exploring this concept. I could be wrong, but I think it's very interesting, and I think it can be very frustrating when you think this and then you go out there and you try and create, bring a lot of value, and you're not making much money from it or any. So it's always an interesting concept, and I think it's one that, uh, again, I think from the onset I didn't completely identify with because I'm just like, okay, well then if I were to give a ton of value to the homeless man on the street, uh, how can he pay me back? Will I make the money back somehow? I don't think that it works exactly like that. And I think the truth of the matter is, this is just my theory, but the truth is that there's a ton of value that's really not monetizable or not structured in a system that's monetizable. Think of high school teachers or nonprofit organizations or charity organizations. Think of the Red Cross or any large multi-million dollar or global nonprofit organization. And a lot of their employees are getting paid, below average because they don't have that money to spend, even though they're affecting and helping millions of lives. So I think there's more to it than that. And look at the high school teacher, the elementary school teacher, who are inspiring their kids, and they're being paid, modest wages. But let's not go too deep on this. I do think there is certain levels of truth. And when I first started learning about business, I found it incredibly insightful because what I realized was that I used to think that business was this thing where you just create products and sell them and you make money. But in reality, it doesn't work like that. Most ideas don't fly and work, whereas the ones that do, they oftentimes are ones that provide tremendous value and service to other people. With, again, I'm just going to add this caveat, with with a system where they are willing to pay for it. So I think there's that added piece to the equation. And so I think that's all I got to say. Thanks for watching.